Welcome to Digital Learning, an initiative of Directorate of Collegiate Education, Government of Karnataka. Eloquentia 3 is the title of the third semester General English textbook prescribed for the BSc stream affiliated to Bengaluru City University. Tara, a play by Mahesh Dattani, is a literary component for 20 marks. I'm Nandana NG, Assistant Professor of English, Government First Aid College, Malleshwaram. The contents of this session: learning objectives, session outcome, thematic insights into Mahesh Dattani's Tara, major and minor themes will be discussed, motifs, that is, recurring symbols, also will be discussed, followed by recapitulation and a MCQ session. Let us try to recapitulate. What did we learn in the previous session? The learning objectives, session outcome, the threads of identity. We discussed in detail the characters of Tara, Chandan, Bharati, Patel, Dr. Tucker, the grandfather, Rupa, older Chandan. All in detail have been discussed. We also had a small MCQ question answer session in the end. Now, coming to this session, the objectives of this session are to identify and understand the central and sub-themes of Tara, to explore how gender bias and patriarchy shape the narrative, to analyze the psychological, social, and cultural dimensions of the play, to examine Dattani's use of symbolism and realism in portraying themes, to encourage critical reflection on societal issues raised in the play. The session outcomes. At the end of the session, the student will be able to have a clear understanding of the major themes and motifs in Tara. He will have the ability to connect themes with character development and plot structure. The student will gain insight into social commentary on gender inequality and family dynamics, improved skills in critical analysis and thematic interpretation of drama. The student will also have or gain confidence to discuss and present themes in literary and academic contexts. Let us start with the major themes. The major theme of this play is gender discrimination. By privileging the boy Chandan, or by giving him the privilege of having the choice of a leg, the central theme of the play highlights how society privileges boys over girls. Tara's leg is unfairly given to Chandan during the surgery, symbolizing patriarchal bias. In fact, the leg had a very healthy chance of getting attached to Tara's body. Knowing it, in spite of it, society represented by the couple and the grandfather and the doctor, they go against all the odds and try to give another fair chance to the boy. This clearly indicates gender discrimination. Tara's talents and potentials are ignored because she's a girl. The play also shows how women's voices and opportunities are suppressed in family and society. We can say that both Bharati and Tara, both their voices are suppressed. In fact, what is more ironical is Bharati herself has been a victim of patriarchy, but then she too does the same with her daughter. Maybe that is why the guilt breaks her down. The play critiques deep rooted patriarchal values in Indian households, that is, the preference of a male heir over a female. I just want to add a in added information here. I've used this theme for the PPT theme of a broken mirror to highlight how broken mirror also indicates broken relationships or fractures in relationships due to the discrimination. The second important theme that is seen in the play is disability and social attitudes. Tara and Chandan's physical condition becomes a site of social prejudice. Society views them as abnormal rather than as unique individuals. Rupa's insensitive behavior reflects how disabled people are ridiculed. The play challenges the stigma associated with physical disability. Disability is presented as a social construct, not just as a medical condition. Family and betrayal is the third most important theme of the play. The betrayal of Tara begins at home, with her own family choosing Chandan over her. Bharati's guilt reflects a mother's conflict between love and societal pressure. Patel's detachment exposes the father's role in perpetuative bias. Patel doesn't directly say the leg should be given to Chandan, but neither does he oppose the surgery. By being a silent accomplice, he makes sure that he represents patriarchy. The family thus becomes a space of injustice instead of protection for Tara. It also shows how betrayal within families scars children for life. I have incorporated an image here. The quote is, sometimes the people closest to you betray you, and your home isn't a place you can be happy anymore. It's hard, but it's true. And it is clearly represented in Tara. Guilt and memory. Chandan grows up burdened by guilt over Tara's fate. His transformation into Dan symbolizes an attempt to escape memory. But how much ever you do, whatever alias or whatever name you change, you can never escape your past. And the guilt, the survivor's trauma that Chandan is struggling from, that never helps him to live a normal life. Bharti's guilt drives her overprotective love towards Tara. Memory functions as both a narrative device and a haunting presence. The play suggests that guilt is an unavoidable legacy of injustice. Identity and selfhood. Tara struggles to assert her individuality despite physical and social limitations. Chandan's fractured identity reflects his guilt and displacement. Dan's writing, or his process of writing, attempts to reconstruct a lost past. Disability and gender intersect to question how identity is socially constructed, and the play reveals identity as shaped by both personal experience and societal expectations. The minor themes: science versus ethics. Dr. Tucker's surgery reflects how science can be manipulated by social bias. Ethical medical decisions are compromised under patriarchal influence. The play questions whether science is truly objective. Medicine becomes complicit in discrimination. It raises concerns about morality in professional practices. Alienation and exile. Dan in London represents exile from home and culture. He can run away, he can try to escape, but he can never leave the past behind. Physical distance does not erase emotional trauma. Alienation, while alive, is both social for Tara and emotional for Chandan or Dan. While being alive, Tara was alienated by society, and now later, Chandan, alone in London, tries to alienate himself from the mainstream society. Exile reflects unresolved guilt and the impossibility of escape. The play suggests that the past follows individual wherever they go. Role of women in patriarchal society. Bharati is emotionally trapped between her father's authority and her daughter's well-being. Tara's life is cut short by the undervaluing of girls. Women's choices are controlled by men and tradition. The play reflects generational complicity in patriarchy. It highlights how women are forced to sustain systems through the character of Bharti. Childhood and lost potential. Tara's childhood dreams are shattered by discrimination. Chandan's childhood is marked by guilt instead of joy. Lost opportunities represent wasted human potential. Childhood innocence is corrupted by adult prejudices. The tragedy lies in what could have been but never was. Silence and unspoken truths. Many truths in the play are left unsaid until later revelations. Silence symbolizes repression of guilt and pain. The unsaid words reflect the family's emotional distance. Dan's writing serves to break the silence of the past. The play suggests that silence itself becomes a form of violence. Motifs in Tara or the recurring symbols: physical separation. The twins' surgical separation symbolizes emotional and societal divides. When they are born conjoined, the society where they have to be separated due to medical reasons. But then The aspect of dividing them is not based on a scientific matter. It is more of a patriarchal decision, and as a result, both end up separated with no chance of walking ever again. A leg or the third leg, it represents imbalance, injustice, and sacrifice imposed by patriarchy. The leg which had a better chance of being attached to Tara is now lost forever, and both end up with just one leg, and the other, they have a artificial leg. Silences and pauses. It reflects suppressed truths, guilt, and unspoken trauma. Guilt and memory. Chandan's narration embodies lingering remorse and reflection. Medical ethics. Surgery decisions symbolize morality or ethics, how it compromises under social pressure. Gender bias, repeated through family choices, symbolizing deep rooted inequality. Family and power dynamics, recurring conflicts highlight generational and societal control. Urban Indian setting, subtle backdrop symbolizing modernity versus regressive traditions. Recapitulation. In this session, we dwelt in detail regarding the themes of the play. So, thematic insights into Mahesh Dattani's Tara. We discussed the major themes, the minor themes, and also the motives or the recurring symbols as seen in the play. Multiple choice question. The first question, what is the central theme of Mahesh Dattani's Tara? The options are romantic love and sacrifice, gender discrimination and patriarchy, political corruption in India, the progress of medical science. The answer is option B, gender discrimination and patriarchy. Why does Bharati show excessive love for Tara? She loves Tara more than Chandan. She's pressurized by her husband Patel. She feels guilty about the surgery decision. She wishes Tara to study abroad. The answer is option C. She feels guilty about the surgery decision. Which theme is reflected in Dance, that is older Chandan's life in London? Ambition and career success, guilt, memory and alienation, celebration of cultural heritage, or scientific progress and innovation? The answer is option B, guilt, memory and alienation. What does Dr. Tucker's role in the surgery decision highlight? Medical advancements in India, parental affection for children, the conflict between science and ethics, the role of doctors as protectors of life. The answer is option C, the conflict between science and ethics. What does Tara's character symbolize in the play? Scientific progress in surgery, wasted potential due to gender bias and disability, the resilience of patriarchy, the reconciliation of family conflicts. The answer is option B, wasted potential due to gender bias and disability. References used for this session. Tara stands as a haunting mirror, reflecting society's quiet cruelties and the unhealed wounds of inequality.